Friday. It's 2:39 on Friday. And today I am 2:35.5. So about 4 days here. Not even 4 days. We're averaging a good amount of weight loss. What time of day?
Always had no fear. I mean, when he was 2 years old, we were on a vacation and we walked to the pool and he just dove in 2 years old, dove into the pool.
We hadn't even checked in, and we were walking by the pool, and all of a sudden Nick's in the pool.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to swim, but just jumped in the pool. That's just how he is. He's not afraid of things.
Ever since he's been young, he's always given whatever it takes, 100. I mean, in any sport, he may not have a whole lot of talent, but he made up for it and go get it all the time. Go get it.
I'd say the further I get into prep, the more I'm thinking. At this point in time, I'm kind of just going with it, but the further I get in, the more my mind kind of focuses in on ideas. It's weird because once I get to a certain place in prep, my thoughts are really clear, very focused, very to the point.
My dad was never one to go to church with us, but shortly before I met Nick, he told me that I needed to start going to church again so I could find a good Christian boy to date. I was like, okay, Dad. So I was working at David's Bridal part-time, and I had gone to Rednecks. I think it was Friday night, my usual. I liked to country dance, two-step and line dance and all that. He was friends with a girl that I knew. And they were talking up at the bar, and I went up to her and said hi, and he's like, you should come out tomorrow night. We're having this black and white, or black tie, I forget what it was. Anyway, party bus for my birthday. And I was like, oh, okay. Not knowing, I was like, I don't know that I have anything to wear to that or whatever. Well, I had gone to work at David's Bridal that next morning, and I found the perfect dress to wear to it. Ran around in the evening so that I could make it to Rednecks, which was where the party bus was leaving from, on time. And I pulled in, and Nick pulled in behind me in his BMW that he was driving at the time, which was not what I go for. And he gets out in these skinny jeans and Chuck Taylors. And I was like, who is this tool that's getting out of his BMW in this skinny attire? Like, skinny jeans at Rednecks were Wranglers, right? And cowboy boots, not skinny buckle jeans and Chuck Taylors. Anyway, and so in my mind, I was just thinking, oh my goodness. And then he walks into the bar and then walks onto the bus behind me, and I was like, oh, he's going with us, okay. I had a little too much to drink that night, and I was having a lot of fun on the bus. And mind you, I do not know how to give a lap dance. I've never been a stripper, any of that sort of thing. And really, it was just me hanging from the bars and kind of flirting with him. Anyway, we go to the last bar of the evening, and I ended up dancing with Nick. Nick ended up driving me home that night because I had had too much drink. Come to find out years later, he had too much to drink that night to be driving my car anywhere. But we made it in one piece, so hindsight's 20/20. But that was the night that we met, and he jokes that When he woke up, he saw the 20 gauge shotgun that I had sitting in the corner at the end of the bed. And I woke up and I saw his 6-pack abs and I was like, Mama did good last night.
So I've always been a fan of getting cardio done first thing in the morning, only because of the fact that if I delay it for the rest of the day, I won't do it. I just know myself. So it happens to have to be early in the morning because of my schedule. If my schedule started at 9, then I could do like an 8 o'clock session. But typically, my day starts at 6 a.m. with a client, if not a little bit before. And then I got something pretty much constant all day long. So until I end up, typically I'll have 2 to 3 clients, run home, grab my son, take him to daycare, come back, couple more clients, a little break over lunch when I do computer work, run back, grab him, pick him up, take him home, and then back up here for a couple more clients every day. So Monday through Friday, pretty much live here 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. So it's the life I chose, man.
I vividly remember meeting Nick. I was a personal trainer at Anytime Fitness, and him and I joke about this all the time. I came in one day, he was just dieting for his show, so he was like 2 weeks out, so he was shredded to the bone, right? Never met this kid a day in my life, and I was always the bigger trainer there. Source of pride. I come around the corner, and he's just veined out, shredded out, working out. I'm like, who's this guy? And they're like, oh, it's the new trainer. And from that moment, I was like, not here. And then like, we never like butted heads or anything like that, but I was just, a little territorial there. A hot second, like, it turned into a joke within like seconds. But then after that, like, we just kind of hit it off and just became friends. But that was like the first initial, like when I met Nick, that was it. Like, I'm talking like veins blown up, everything. So I was like, this is dude on my territory, so.
Basically, I moved up here December, not this past December before. Moved up here with my girlfriend. She had told me about this gym. I came in. Nick was the first person I met. He was very inviting, very humble, very respectful gym owner. I thought, this dude's, real. He's a real part. Like, he's got a real side to him. You can feel it. You can see it. Like, he has an energy that he presents. Like, you can tell when he's like, you can tell fake people from real people. When you walk up to Nick and talk to him, he's real. He's there. He's genuine.
When I first met him, I just kind of thought that it was kind of a under the table, like he wasn't going to be this huge, popular, well-known coach. And now I consider him a legend. Like, and I'm blessed that I was kind of one of his, first major clients. And I'm pretty sure it was his first client that earned pro card status under his coaching. So I feel pretty blessed for that.
So Nick and I worked together for a while. My first ever show was bikini. And it was just not my personality, but it was just something to do, just kind of get my feet wet. And he and I worked together for a few years and ended up moving up to the physique category. I did work with a different coach for a little while, and that was when I obtained my pro status. But Nick and I did my pro debut together, and that was fun. But as far as nutrition goes, bodybuilding goes, all of the early work that we did together and training, diet, all of that I learned from him. So that was an extremely important foundation for me. And I used that information later on, and then getting back with Nick later too, then we continued our journey and continued the process, and we're still going today. So he's been a part of my life now for a long time.
Before just getting into bodybuilding, I was looking at Nick like, oh yeah, this is like, who I'm chasing. That competitiveness that we have, like, we're friends, we're cool, and we bring that intensity and that competitiveness every time we're like just around each other. It's just like, and it's just like, it's toxic, it's great, it's great for the both of us, and we've like even talked to it about ourselves. Like, he'll send me a video of him like, hey, just incline press 405 for like 10 reps. And I was like, oh, like, here we go. I'm like, I got you, man. So like next time I go in for chest or whatever, I'm like 405, boom, like knocking it out. So it's just like, it's cool to have that, and because there's just not many people I can share that with, or like be on that competitive level with, so because I'm always trying to get better myself, it's just bodybuilding.
And I started prepping for a bodybuilding show, and he was we'd see each other in the gym, he'd give me some advice, and kept telling me I needed to hire him. And I'm like, I love the ego to a certain degree. At the same point, I'm like, I don't like being told what to do, so I didn't hire him at first, and he kept telling me how great he was. And so finally, by the time I offered him a job, he took a job with my competitor. And I was pissed. And I'm like, you just set me up. I mean, you totally, you blind date, ditched me. This is crap. And he went worked for them, and we obviously kept in touch, and it wasn't probably 6 months to a year later, he decided to leave and asked me if I had a home for him at Rexius Nutrition. I was like, absolutely. And he's one of those guys that, we talk a little crap or this, that, or the other thing, but he comes through every time.
My entire goal as I was younger was to play some sort of college sport. And at that point in time, it was college football. And so playing college football and going through college and kind of sculpting my brain in the aspects of getting a pre-med biology degree kind of started to twist my brain in that direction. And then what happened was my second year of playing college football, I had my second brain bleed. So I had a subdural hematoma. I had one my senior year of high school. I had my second one basically my junior year of college when I went back and started playing football again. And that was a turning point for me. And that was kind of a point in my life where I kind of looked at what was going on, and I lost my identity because I was a football player, I was an athlete. And I now had a doctor that told me to my face, if you get hit in the head, if you get hit, you have no more contact sports the rest of your life. If you get hit in the head in the right spot, you'll die 70% of the chance, right? So no matter what, you can't do a contact sport the rest of your life. And for something that made my identity for so long, I've already lost that before. If bodybuilding wasn't a thing, I know that I'll figure something else out. And that's how I kind of look at that. And I think that trauma of the brain injury and kind of changing my outlook on what I could do and who I am as a person, I wasn't a football player anymore. I wasn't a college athlete anymore. But I still had that drive to compete. And that's where bodybuilding came into play, is it gave me an outlet for competing, but it also gave me an outlet for structure, and it gave me an outlet for creating something that's all on me.
Today I'ma wake up a new man, driving a new road, develop a new plan. I'll never be blue, man, whatever the view, man. Go to a new beach, get me a new tan. I'ma write down every